right, Justin.
We got episode 36 of this Quarantine Chronicles. Let's get into it. We got Assault and Battery, Ravi, Ravinder, whatever you want to call him.
AAB777 will be fine. Thank you.
AAB777 Trunks.
Sorry, did you say 37 episodes already?
777, dude.
I'd say 37. I'm like, you guys been doing this for a week. Like, how you got 37 episodes?
It's been a month.
Has it been a month?
Oh yeah. It's been over a month. We're doing it every day. We're bored. We're just like, hey, let's go on Skype.
Yeah,
record 30 minutes.
Talk about Redemption Tour. Talk about Redemption Tour. This guy's making a video every 2 weeks. We're over here making a video every day.
Quality over quantity. Believe me. Take it from Steve. Like, take Steve for example.
Oh well, Steve was all fired up in 2011 through 2013, and
he was hot.
Yeah, and now I feel like you're one of the last of the OG almost, like making videos still that are getting views and stuff.
I'm like the natural gold dust of the YouTube thing, You're just trying to keep yourself relevant, just jump here to there wherever it works. Just call me the natural.
Okay, I was gonna ask. Hold on, who's more influential in the day in the life? So who do you think got more people to go to WrestleMania? You or Breach?
Oh, me for sure.
That's it. Okay. I don't know. I was having
people put Steve up there.
I did.
Really?
Like that 27 video?
Yeah, that's when I started as well. But I think Steve did a 26 one with Miguel. And that's, I guess, I don't even remember if I watched them. Because I didn't know who Steve was at that time. I just met him through Miguel. But I feel like the Mania videos really took off at 28. That's when people skyrocketed, because 27 was the appetizer, and then 28 was that 5-course steak dinner, and then after that it was just took off at 30.
I feel like Breach had from 27. I feel like a lot of people watch Breach's videos mainly because he uploaded them the moment it happened. He uploaded it, so people were living off of his videos vicariously through him, through those videos that trip. And then like you said, 28 was where it was okay, wait, these guys had a group trip this past year, now we got to see what they're going to do next year. It's kind of like a running TV show almost. And then that was when it kind of I think it blew up. Yeah, like you said, 28. And then from there, it's, it is what it is. It is what it is today.
It's funny how things don't change, though. Even being in Chicago with Steve, this man is still 10 years later almost. He still uploads video on the fly. I'm like, bro, put one nice video together. It's no, one video of Justin eating donuts, one video of Ravi drinking cherry Coke, one video of us arriving at the airport. And then I think in my clip, there's he literally fell asleep tweeting. This guy exhausts himself just uploading videos. You gotta, and that's the one thing. I think I did it once. That was only for Instagram though. I was trying to get all those, racking those Insta views and everything.
Yeah.
It was during Mania 32. That's when I think I reached I was addicted to getting as many views as possible. When Shane jumped off the Hell in a Cell. Yeah. I remember I left my seat because there was no signal at the AT&T Stadium where we were sitting. I went into the concourse. Just so I can upload the video.
That's the end of the match.
I literally missed the end of the match. I told Miguel, and this man probably still holds it against me to this day. He's like, "You are an idiot. You missed that just to upload your views." I'm like, "Don't judge me. This is what I do."
The game.
The funny thing is, the next day he was mad because he didn't get enough views on the video.
I would, believe me. You set standards. You set expectations for yourself, and when they don't reach it, I'm pretty upset.
It was the Shinsuke video got 2,000 views, and this other one got a couple hundred.
It was bad. Believe me, there's been a few times that disappointed, and sometimes I think the highest was the CM Punk picture from the first Chicago trip, and then the Triple H and Stephanie from SummerSlam. Those two took off more than I think I was on the Explore page for both of them, and I was like, "Wow, look at me! I'm on the Explore page. Holy!" Just label me an influencer now, like Justin. That's it. Nice knowing you guys.
Could you imagine that only a month ago, it was me, it was Justin, it was you. We were all sitting eating at IHOP, kissing each other goodbye at the airport. Oh, I'll see you in a month. I'll see you in a month, and then I'll it goes crazy.
2 months ago. No, March 2nd, and it's gonna be May 2nd on Saturday, so it's 2 months ago.
This February. Yeah, March.
It was-
Yeah, March.
March 2nd is when we went home. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, 2 months have gone by. But when you think about it, like I have my Revolution poster like here, and I'm like, man, like we saw the last like wrestling like trip, like we had it.
Not only
before.
that, the convention too. You think they're going to do another convention in the next year? No, that was it.
And it was like funny because remember I was on the way when your parents drove us to the thing. That's when I saw the there was like a confirmed coronavirus thing in Chicago, and I was like, we're all gonna die. and when you think about it, we just kind of like we kind of laughed it off. But like when you kind of think about it, like in retrospect, it's like holy, we really that was risky because remember Justin, remember we were sitting in where the food court was after we got the pizza. There was you couldn't even walk. You were shoulder to shoulder with everyone. There was no social distancing being.
Imagine that line we're in to go into the building.
Yeah.
That's you can't do that anymore.
That's crazy. Like when you think about it, like we just kind of like took it as whatever, a long line, but like, and then another thing people were talking about was like the Raptors parade. Like I don't know if you saw the aerial view of like the streets. Like people were shoulder to shoulder. You can't even walk. That's never going to happen again. I mean, it probably will, but not anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
no, it was crazy.
It's the last wrestling trip.
The last wrestling trip
ever.
And I was looking so forward to Vegas too. I don't know if I actually got the email today saying that my trip has been canceled for Vegas. They canceled the flight. So ironically, you know, we're talking about here being the last one, and I had the next one planned. I even have Chicago planned, hoping September is like, you know, things are slightly getting back. I still have my hopes, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, because that will be, if that does happen as normal, like that'll be the first wrestling, like the big wrestling trip, I guess you can say, big wrestling show, because that'll be, you know, like I don't think they're going to do Starcast at all at this point.
They didn't even do it this year.
I'm saying, like, I don't think they're going to do, like, I feel like they normally, if everything was normal, they would have in Chicago. But after this, I don't think they're going to. I don't think there's a chance in the world that if, you know, All Out goes as planned this year, I don't think they're going to do Starcast, just because, like, Justin, you've been saying, like, do you think they're going to do meet and greets, like, with wrestlers, like, in September? I don't think so.
No one's going to want to touch your hand, let alone, like...
Literally.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Like, it's all about, like, shaking the guy's hand and stuff, and it's like, you can't do that shit anymore. And look at these nerds want to go hug, like, do the prom pose with, like, Paige or like Alexa Bliss, like, yo, don't touch her, like, get away from me. They're gonna be like Mandy Rose, or the Mandy Rose situation for everyone now. They're gonna say fist bump and don't put your hand too on my ass. All right, no problem.
Well, I remember when we were in the punk line, it was me, Ravi, and Breach in the punk line, and I think Breach was like he was saying it loud enough to us so that the guy in line, or the guy that was like at the table, heard. Like, all right, so what is Punk doing? Is he doing handshakes? Is he doing fist bumps? And he's like, the guy was like, he's doing fist bumps, and Breach was like kind of like laughing it off, but like that was like a serious question. It's like, you don't want to awkwardly go in for like the handshake for CM Punk, and then he's like, nope, like fist bump, and then, like, you know, it's just an awkward situation. I did that with Luchasaurus at All Out last year, where I went in for a handshake and then he gave me the fist bump, and I was like, yep, that's better. And now handshakes are just like I think like no longer are we gonna like shake anyone's hands.
Exiled, yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
But I never had that. So, like, only time I had it was with Mandy Rose, and I don't think they said it, but like she made it clear, like, don't touch my hand.
Yeah.
Like every other wrestler though, it's always been like handshake. I don't even remember what I did with CM Punk. I might have done a fist bump because I guess I was behind you guys, so it's probably part of this conversation as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, fist bump's the cool thing. Whatever, who cares? But like, I'm thinking more like, yeah, like I don't know. It's kind of weird to think about it like long term, because look at the stadium shows. Look at Wrestle Kingdom. You know, you're not gonna. The crowd is what makes like all the matches go so much better. And now it's like forget the meet and greets. Like, when are you gonna have like a stadium show? Like, look at Edge. Poor guy comes back for his retirement. You know, from his retirement 9 years gone for that WrestleMania moment, and he has a shitty match and like with no crowd.
It was a good match, but at least he got that pop at the Rumble.
That's what he's gonna get remembered by, was that pop at the Rumble.
Yeah. I mean, that was the true reaction. I feel like Mania would have been awesome, but like not expecting him at the Rumble, I feel like will be the one that gets replayed, you know, years from now.
Yeah. And then look at Triple H, even like he can't even do the water spit thing anymore, right? That's not going to be allowed. That's germs.
I didn't think
Those are
about
germs.
that.
Those are germs. Yeah.
Wow. What'd you say, Justin?
Did you watch Mania, Robbie?
No, I watched the. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't watch anything. And I
You watched-
remember Miguel texted me, and I wanted to watch that Boneyard match, whatever it's called, Graveyard match, and I just haven't gotten around to it. This is like the first year, and I don't even think about it. I know that I remember the day of. Miguel texted me. He's like, "Bro, like, what do you think of Mania?" I'm like, I took a picture of myself. I'm not even watching it, and he freaked out. He's like, "What's wrong with you? It's so good." Blah blah blah. I'm like, there's no hype behind it. There's no crowd. This doesn't even have like a Mania feel to it. It's in the damn performance center. And just because you put some high end matches, like I don't know, it's just to me it's not the same. And even with AEW, like I try to like catch the highlights on YouTube after, but even that, like I subscribe to like the network, the TSN network, just so I can watch AEW. And now it's like I haven't watched in so many weeks. It's just like the whole thing just makes your interest just kind of go out the window because it was cool to see the crowds and like compare it to the NXT thing, and I feel like it makes a lot of the show. And now it's just the same shit over and over again. Just hear the guys grunting and like talking shit about each other. I'm like, it's creative, the stuff they do, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I haven't been. I mean, I've been the same way with like wrestling in general ever since like probably ever since Mania. Like Mania to me was, it was good for what it was. Like the Edge and Orton match was fine. The Boneyard match was fine. The Wyatt thing was awesome.
Those are
Like,
the two things you should watch, by the way. If you watch Boneyard Match and Firefly Funhouse, that's it.
yeah,
That's what I figured because those are all the me like everything you see online was those two matches. And
Yep.
I actually started like even one of my friends asked me about it because they're like, "Yo, what's going on with this Undertaker AJ Styles thing?" Like he kind of follows it to an extent. And he's asking me as if I'm like the expert I'm supposed to be. I'm just making shit up from what I read on Twitter. I'm like, they did some cinematic thing, like it's cool, whatever. And he watched it and he's like, "Oh, bro, that was actually pretty cool." And I'm like, "Was it?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess I gotta watch it myself."
yeah.
I still haven't gotten around to it. It's just I don't know, just the interest levels. Like I want to say at an all time low. Like I was already on a decline anyway. So, but like now, it's just when there's at least there was something to look forward to every Wednesday, and there still is, but it's definitely not the same. And I feel bad for like guys who like Matt Hardy, for example. Like I'm sure he was supposed to get this mega pop when he like debuted on Dynamite that one time, and then they're still putting on great matches, I guess. But it's just it takes away a lot. I
You
think
can
it
only
makes
you could only do the same like 10 people in matches for so long. You know what I
And
mean?
Orange Cassidy match, and like everyone, the whole crowd reacts. Now he's just kicking a guy's leg, just like
Yeah.
yeah. So who knows when it'll go back? I'm sure they want to, like in Florida, right? They can. What happened? What's the deal with Florida? Like I know they allowed like WWE to be like an essential service. So does that mean they can have like crowds there, or like how does it work?
Like,
They're just allowed recording there.
they're gonna open back up on Friday, and then let everyone record, but not let people in yet.
What do you mean?
Basically, sports were deemed essential in the state of Florida, so that helps not only WWE but also AEW. But I mean, it's pretty much Vince. It seems like Vince like knocked on the door of of Florida and was like, "Hey, like make us essential." And then that was like, "Well, we can't just make them essential. We got to make everybody essential." So that's what it seems is the case. Vince got his way once again.
But since he's essential, like I said, like what does that mean? Like they can.
Oh yeah, like Justin said, like they can, they can, like workers can come to work, and they can, record like matches and stuff. They just can't have large gatherings. So like they can't have, fans in the arena, pretty much any outside other than the people that work for the company. So you can have like as many WWE people, in the ring, doing like production and whatnot. You just can't have like a large gathering of people at
Oh,
the
okay,
point.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what have you guys been doing though? Like since like Justin, I know he's just on doing his Rubik's cubes, which I think are fake, by the way. This man definitely
Ooh.
faked it somehow.
Ooh.
I can do this cube in 3
guy-
minutes flat.
Yeah. Okay, let's come on. There is no way in hell this man
I will-
does a Rubik. This guy's like, oh look, I bought like a regular one. Now I bought like a supersized one. I'm like,
Well, the 4x4
Mike.
four is pretty hard. I get stuck at one part, and I have to go search up the algorithm. But other than that,
Algorithm, my ass.
I can do 3x3 and a 2x2. 4x4, I still get stuck on.
Anyways, I call bullshit. I call bullshit on that one.
All
Mike,
right.
Dang,
as
dude.
Mike pulled some strings,
I want
I'm
you
sure
to
use
record
the
a wrestling video
Photoshop and
about wrestling. Next time we hang out, just talk about whatever you want, and in the background, I'll do the cube.
oh yeah. I'm sure Mike will rig it somehow so he can. Mike knows how to do dual screens and probably merges it to
No,
one.
no. I will come to your house or whatever. When we hang out, you can record a video at Griff's.
You should actually make a video on that. I feel like you would get a lot of views, like doing Rubik's Cube very fast and like, you know.
I can't do it fast. 3 minutes is not fast. It's slow. You will do it in like
3
30
minutes.
seconds.
I've had the same Rubik's Cube for 10 years. I can't figure it out.
Same.
Teach you. It's not that hard.
This guy buys one off Amazon, and like 2 days later, he's like finished. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What else have you been doing though, Justin, besides your Rubik's Cube?
So I've been selling not my wrestling collection, but some stuff from my wrestling collection. All my figures are pretty much all gone. Going through autographs, I sold some of that. Yeah.
So you're essentially cleaning. You're like getting rid of all your junk, like most people.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm bored at home, and
are you living with your girlfriend or no? Are you with her? You guys like at your? Oh, so you guys are together? Okay.
Yeah. But at my parents' place, when I go there, I'm like, why is all this junk on my floor? So yeah, I made like over $2,000 in a week.
Must be nice. And you, Mike?
I've been working from home. I've been trying to like do something creative every day. So like when you hit me with like a hey, like, you know, I need this thumbnail. It's like, all right, let's go. Let's do something.
5 minutes of my life is gonna be towards Ravi.
So that's why it's like, you know, I'm just trying to like, because I know whenever this ends, I don't want to look back and be like, man, I just like sat there and like watched Netflix like every single day. Like I am watching Netflix every single day, but I'm also like making something. I'm playing video games that I, you know, wouldn't normally be playing. So like, you know, I'm trying to make the best of the time where I'm just stuck at home. You know what I mean?
At least you're working. I guess that's keeping you busy. I feel like I don't think Justin's working, right? You have to go in.
Yeah, I'm not working.
Yeah, so that's what I feel bad for people. Like, luckily for me, I have 2 jobs still. Like, I can do whatever the hell I want. It's like nothing's changed for me, and I'm trying to avoid Netflix. Actually, I haven't watched Tiger King. Haven't watched like any of these like Money Heist is another one everyone's watching.
Dude, I almost finished it.
Big show.
Episodes. Finished like 2.
My sister said it was the best show she's ever watched, and I told her like I started about on Facebook that they confirmed like a season 5, and she got all excited. She's like, "Oh, it's so good, Rav. You have to watch it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, get around to it." But, like I'm just trying. My schedule's been like the only thing that's changed for me is like my hours are like differing starting Sunday because my place like now because we're considered an essential service, so now they want everyone to come back because like the jails don't want these people with immigration cases, and they're like, get your people out of here. So now we got a bunch of criminals coming to our place. We got to deport them if like when the borders open up. And there's still like surprisingly Mexico's the only place that's still running like normal business. Ironically, I don't know. Yeah, they're letting people in and out of the country still.
Yeah, because like that was, I mean, it's crazy to like think back from like, you know, like 2 months ago or whatever. But I mean, for me, like when I heard that they might close down the borders, I was like, well, shoot, like this Canada trip's not going to happen. So like I canceled my like flight, and then I feel like the next day is when Canada and the US were like, all right, well, only essential people only. And I was like, well, not going to be able to say that, you know, going to watch WrestleMania at my friend's house is essential. So, but then it just like, you know, went crazy after that. So
I felt so bad for you, man, because I booked off those days you were here, like like Sunday, Monday, we were supposed to hang out or whatever, and I had it all like booked off and stuff. And then as soon as you said that the trip's not happening, I was like, oh man, like that. Honestly, like I feel so bad about Vegas, and I was only like, it wasn't a last minute decision to go, but it definitely wasn't like as far planned like you've been wanting to come here for so long, and it's like holy, it's true. Everyone's life. I think everyone just got screwed up in one way or another. Whether you know this whole thing,
the WrestleMania people for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like everyone going to WrestleMania, people's jobs and stuff. And like your trip, you know, it's bad. It's weird. You're gonna think back to this. You're gonna have your kids. You're gonna be 80 years old. Be like, I lived through Corona. WrestleMania got screwed up because of coronavirus.
I couldn't go to Canada. I couldn't get my poutine. I couldn't go to the arcade, the infamous garage sale. Like,
oh god, garage sale.
Like here's what I'm saying, like Ravi. So Justin started to like go through all this stuff, but I was thinking, I was like, if I was there at the time that I was supposed to be there, and I walked into his room and I saw like just boxes of like figures and DVDs, 1000% I would have went through that stuff and been like, oh man, this is cool, and Justin would have been like, here, like just, like give me
Take it.
like $10 for it, yeah.
I don't
So
even think he'd give it that. He'd probably give it to you for free. He let me stay at your house. Here, take this DVD.
so it's like, I mean,
Right,
it's almost
Justin?
better that he's gonna sell this
I
stuff
a
now.
punk pop, dude. That thing's worth like 250.
There you go. Justin's a good guy.
Well, I bought his CM Punk Survivor Series plaque from him. So I'm gonna have to whenever I come to Canada, I'm going to have that in my suitcase. So that should be
I get
interesting.
face. I'm such a good guy.
My mom says I should get rid of some of my stuff too, and I already started. Like this was fall, I think. There's one guy who lives about 45 minutes away. The thing with him though, he actually buys figures and he opens them. So he's like, oh, there's some people who kind of feel uncomfortable selling their figures to me, knowing that I open them and I display them. And then
Yeah.
he's just like, I just want to let you know, like I do this, and I'm like, as long as you pay me, do whatever the hell you want, bro. It's
Yeah.
not my thing. Like it's you do you. And then he showed me his collection. He's like, yeah, don't worry. And people take this stuff seriously. Like I was surprised. Like he showed me his collection. Like, don't worry, they're going into like proper hands. And I display them, I
Man.
dust them and everything. I'm like,
Oh
okay.
man, the guy I sold mine to, like, it's the same thing. He's like freaking out because I had that Roddy Piper autograph.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, people freaking out about this stuff.
People get, yeah, that's what I
They're
don't know.
like-
People take it seriously. Like we think we're like hardcore people, but then I see like that's the crazy thing when I started YouTube is like, man, I thought I was the only one. And then you see people with like 10 times the bigger collection than I have.
Like that figure podcast with the Ryder and Hawkins, like that Facebook group, like every day someone's selling, like, oh, mail day, oh, I'm selling this, and like right away, figure just sell off like it's nothing. Like in an hour when I posted all that stuff, half my shit was gone.
Yeah, I gotta get around to that. And I remember I mentioned it last week, but I gotta get all this stuff like figured out now because I put it on one Facebook group and then I actually sent it to one guy, the guy who bought all my other stuff, and he didn't want it because he said I was asking for too much. I was like, bro, I'm giving you $20 per figure. Don't tell me it's too much. I'm giving you a deal.
So obviously, like I don't like what of your collection are you like thinking about selling? Because I know like everyone knows you as like the classic superstar guy, and you have them all like on your walls and everything. So what could like you possibly be selling? You know what I mean?
What I was planning on getting rid of is like everything that's not a classic superstar,
Mhm.
and the classic superstars that I would keep are the ones that like I kind of like have like a good sentimental value. Like I remember I had like an Eddie Guerrero one of like his like I'm your poppy shirt.
Mhm.
So like I kept that one, and like just ones that look cool to me or like mean a lot to me I keep, or the ones that I could potentially get signed in the future. Those are the only ones I kept. Otherwise, it's all like they're pretty whatever.
Sorry, your top worst you're gonna get rid of?
My top, no, if they're signed, I'm keeping them. Forget that.
Oh.
I'm telling you, this is the stuff I'm getting. The signed stuff I'm not selling. It's all the stuff that's not signed.
So the unmatched furies and random elites.
Exactly. So I think I only have I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 unmatched furies left. Otherwise, I think the guy bought most of them. I have Ultimate Warrior, Eddie Guerrero, Ric Flair, which is signed. Honky Tonk Man signed. Batista signed. Bret Hart signed, and then I have a Razor Ramon one as well.
Got any punk stuff?
I have I had something of Punk. What did I have? You can have that 8x10 that I got from him in Chicago. I was like, why the hell did I buy an autograph? I think I was all hyped and stuff. So I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I should have just bought a picture. I have a bunch of Punk stuff, and I remember when I first met him, I was so like excited, and then it became like now it's like 3 times. I'm like, wow, 3 years, 2 years, 3 times.
Yeah, I know, cause like here's the thing with the punk stuff. Like, there's so many like punk stuff that I just like saw at the store. Like, between the time of him, like right after he like left in January of 2014. And so like all these like figures and stuff that were just like hanging on like the pegs at the store, and I was like, I don't need that. But now looking back, like either they go for a lot on eBay, or it's just like, man, it would be nice to like have another punk thing because they're never gonna make another punk thing again. You know what I mean? Like a figure or like whatever. So,
I feel like any figures like that though. Like there's so many I remember I saw on like clearance rack at Walmart and then years and years ago. And then you would go on eBay now. It's like I wonder how much like this random like Shawn Michaels figures going for, and it's like
yeah,
holy.
One was like $100. I sold it for.
Yeah,
it's
it's
nuts.
I was surprised. I was like, man, I didn't think figures held the value that they do. Like I knew they were worth something, but then when you see like how much they go for, and actually a couple of these like my friends were telling me like everyone knows about this collection. Like a lot of my work friends follow me and they just kind of ask because they watch my videos as well.
Hmm.
Like how much do they actually go for? And I just tell them, I'm like, honestly, like search like any wrestler. Like I just tell them like Ultimate Warrior. I'm like put Ultimate Warrior Classic Superstars into eBay, and they put it and it was like 265 for like a 2-pack I have that's not even signed. So I'm like, so let's say $200 if even that, and then you add like the autograph on top of it because the guy's like dead, so it's like worth more. And then, you have Hulk Hogan. I'm like, this thing's like worth $500, and then they're just like, oh shit. I'm like, that's just one of them. I have like over 100 of these, and it's just, and then they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, try making fun of me, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, what are you making fun of me for? I got my retirement plan in my room.
Yeah,
I,
it's on my
literally,
walls.
yeah, it's on my walls.
No, I mean, you're right. Like, it's crazy that, like, I mean, at the end of the day, these are just toys that kids are supposed to be playing with. But for some reason, we collect them. And for some reason, they're worth a heck of a lot more than they should be. Like, I remember there's this, like, you know how they re-released, like, the Hasbro, like, like figures, like the retro figures, and they had, like, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, like, John Cena, whatever. Um,
Mhm.
they re-released them. And I, like, for whatever reason, I was like, oh, these are cool. I'm just going to buy them. And I only bought like a few of them. And there was always a Roman Reigns one at Walmart. And I was like, I don't need Roman Reigns, whatever. Like a year or two later, that thing goes for $150. And I'm like, that thing was $9 at my Walmart. I could have bought them all. I could have sold them all. Like, why is it $150 for a stupid Roman Reigns figure?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I've Believe me, I went through many of those things. Like I remember when classic superstars were like, a thing, like in 05, 06. Like I would
Mhm.
see them on the clearance rack all the time because the new series would come in, so they'd have to get rid of the old one.
Yeah.
And like I remember, I think the Killer Bees, a 2-pack of like the Killer Bees. It's like, oh, who the hell wants the Killer Bees? You look on eBay, it's like $75.99 for like the Killer Bees. They could have bought it for $10 at the time.
Nuts, dude. Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
People get
it's it's
sad.
crazy, but it's just like with any other big like toy line, like Star Wars, Ninja Turtles, Power
Yeah.
Rangers. It was all the same shit. It's people play with, like, people collect them, they keep them in good shape. If they're able to get it signed, they get it signed, and then you wait it out for a few years, and there you go. You're banking. Look at Justin. Justin's a perfect example.
Yeah.
I don't really those $10 elites that we got signed at WrestleMania and are worth like 100 now. Like, I don't
Which
understand. The David Hart Smith and the stupid Finley.
Oh yeah, see,
You're
like
black.
who cares? Like random shit like that. Like no one wanted, like even the Miz. I think I saw Miz Elite on someone's thing, selling for like so much. And I was
Yeah.
like, I remember that was like the bottom of the barrel, like elite, like the Miz of all people.
I sold like 2 Undertaker figures for like 150, like the elites. Like, it's just like,
Yeah,
what?
incredible. And now I'm waiting for those DVDs to like come back, to like come back in style.
I mean, they're re-releasing in like some country or whatever, like in a certain, like in the UK maybe, they're re-releasing like the popular WrestleMania DVDs. So that makes me think that those, like the original ones might go up because I feel like people, like, here's my theory. Like, I saved all my DVDs. Like, for some reason, watching your videos, Justin's videos, Breach's videos, like everyone's videos, like, oh, my DVD collection. It's like I gotta have the biggest DVD collection. So I would buy all like the $3 like events, you know what I mean? And like just so I can have like a big DVD collection. I have a feeling that something is gonna happen to the WWE network one day, and these DVDs are gonna like come back and make a return. Like kind of like the VHS tapes did, where it's like they go
Oh,
away for a while and now they're worth like, a crazy amount.
It's all a big circle. I noticed it went from VHS to DVD to Blu-ray now to digital. That's like the
Yeah.
full circle. It's gonna come all the way back around. I think one day, like, people are gonna. There's always gonna be a demand for this stuff. There's always someone out there looking for something. Like
Yeah.
I'm just looking at one, like, oh, like Shawn Michaels' My Journey. There's some dude out there like, oh man, like I really want that shit. Like years down the line where you can't even find it in stores anymore.
Mm-hmm.
and that's what makes the value go up. And I agree 100%. That's why I held on to mine. And to me, just coming in my room, that's the first thing people watch. Like it looks aesthetically like pleasing when you walk
Mm-hmm.
in and you just see all the DVDs there. To me,
Those
like
are
it looks good.
those are our books, essentially.
Yeah.
And is just like people like Gemini, for example, who like prided themselves on their collection, just like, and even Steve and Luke, I guess to a point, like they that was their thing, and they were able to pack it up and just like sell them or like put them away. And like for me, it's like different. I'm like, man, what would I do? Like I invested so much money and time into this stuff. I can't just like put it in a box and just like forget about it.
Did you ever think? Do you ever think that maybe your videos would get more views if you set up your camera on your bookshelf and then filmed it like you used to back in 2010? Like, is that ever like crossed your mind?
I saw. Do people still make standing videos though? I know Justin tried when he did his unboxing. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
he
look at
tried.
Justin.
Tried
With
is
that
the keyword.
Try. It's
Very-
okay. He's trying to make a comeback.
I unboxed toilet paper. That's how bored I was. I got an Amazon package. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna unbox this. And it was sharp.
Really trying to get that Wuhan flex. Eh? Oh, I got toilet paper and you don't.
You can go to the store right now. Toilet paper's there. They're
I know
overstocked.
it's there. I know. People are starting to return it. They're like they overstocked and now they're bringing it back to the store. Like sorry to be a hoarder.
I
Can't return it.
pre-orders on Amazon, like pre-ordering it, and they all came all at once. And I'm like, what is this? I thought I was supposed to expect this like April, May, June, July.
Yeah, like a year from now.
Amazon's good. Did you see Amazon's worth like $1 trillion now because of this COVID thing? Like some people are profiting off it real good. Some
Dude.
are like kind of whatever.
That's the one thing. Like, not only is Justin selling figures, but thanks to Barstool, like it got me a little bit in the stock market. But Breach is all in on the stock market, and now he converted Justin into the stock market. It's
Canada up, dude. Made what was it, $400?
dude, Penn National Gaming. It was $5, between $5 and $9, and now it's at 17. So I'm doing pretty well on my own. But
That's a lot of people are doing that. Interest rates are so like this is like when I go to like do my jail transfers and stuff. Like I talk with like the guards and they were telling me how like they're oh yeah you should invest in stocks. Like they're going and getting like $100,000 loans from the bank because the interest rates are so low right now at the bank, and they're gonna lose money at the beginning, but like once everything goes back to normal, that shit's gonna skyrocket and you're gonna be like cruising.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
That's not a bad idea. Hey, that's the kind of thinking you got to have in times like this. Like you got to be able to kind of make the most out of the shitty situation. Like with me, everyone at my job left, so it was me pretty much I was working 7 days for like a solid month, and like I saw that paycheck, and we had like our emergency pay, and now we got this pandemic pay, and they retroacted it. I don't know. They pretty much did 2 or 3 weeks prior. So I saw the paycheck. I'm like, see, like wonderful. Like there's my whole like trip next year, like paid off like, easily. And it's like you gotta. One of my friends said, if you don't come out of this pandemic, like at least like not a better person, but at least did something like new, learned something new, and like kind of made yourself better. Like you wasted your damn time, like you were saying. Like you gotta be creative.
So
Justin learned how to do a Rubik's cube, like hustle people or fake his.
he's selling his toys.
Collection. Yeah, he's selling
Stock
his toys.
market, sell collection, podcast. There you go. That's my day.
Look
The
at Justin.
podcast.
He's fucking cruising.
Podcast.
Justin's innovative. I hope this podcast goes well for you guys. I really do.
Don't worry, we'll get more views because you're on it right now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like thinking of what the title's gonna be. Like we gotta put just the Salt and Battery 777 in the title. That's it. That's the title.
That's it. I mean, I was over at once. I don't know about now. I'm trying.
Dude.
I'm trying my best.
I mean, people still come up to you, and like say, "Hey, like the Salt and Battery."
You know
Like-
how bad it is? How not bad, but you know how old it makes me feel when people do that? I received a message from a guy. He's like, hey, I used to watch you when I was like 12 and like I'm
Yeah, I
22
saw
now.
that
I'm like, like, okay.
I still think about that guy. Like after we met Punk, it was just me and you. I forgot where Breach went. Breach went to go meet someone at the AAW booth, and that guy came up to you, and you were like, and he was like, "Oh, Salt and Battery, like, how's it going? Whatever." Like, and then he walked away, and immediately after he walked away, someone went up to him, and was like, "Hey, I watch your videos," and I was like, hold on, like that guy went up to that guy saying that he watches his videos, but that guy just came up to you, and I'm just like, it still shocks me every time it happens, and like when I'm there to watch it happen, it's even crazier. Like it's just crazy,
the
you know?
the two most surreal moments is one was on Bourbon. This is the one that always sticks out, was Bourbon Street, like from Mania 34, where like everyone was there, and I felt like a wrestler, honestly. Like I was walking, taking 2 steps. Someone's like, "Hey, it's not about your picture." I'm like, "Hey, picture." And then everyone's already gone. Everyone's way ahead of me, and I'm stopping. I have to talk with people, whatever, and like, I don't want no bad tweets. Like, "Hey, you like, you big league me." Like it's happened before too. After that, I'm like, I'm never big league anyone again.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the second one was it's
After
terrible.
that, you wore that ginger shirt like wanting the attention.
Was it that? Yeah, it was that day. True. Well, it doesn't matter. But still, it's crazy. Yeah, it's come a long way, and that's the only reason I still do it. I tell these guys, I'm like, I see these messages. Some days I just don't want to do it. I'm like, I gotta make the people happy. Give the people what they want.
We gotta get the figures. You gotta make a new room tour video. I feel like that's what a lot of people want.
No. I like what he's doing. Do the slow roll. Just show figure by figure.
Well, yeah.
It's literally been like 4 years since my last room tour, I think.
I feel like the last one who made a room tour for you was Miguel. I think when he was there.
Oh, true. Yeah, that was after Mania 30. Yes, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
6
And
years
then
ago.
I was gonna make it this year, but obviously that didn't happen.
Come on. I have to clean. That's the thing. Like I try to like clean my room and stuff, and it's just like a big mess. I mean, I can do it now. Like my big thing was like nothing changed in my room. It was all the same shit. Then I started going to like the shows and going to AEW, and I started getting the classic superstars signed again. I think since like the last since Mania 34, I think it was, I've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 new classic superstars. Wow. I was like, wow. I know. I'm like, I just counted it now. Like my walls are like basically covered at this point.
I see you're slowly covering up the Rocky poster and the NWA poster. That's
Bro,
like
the Rocky poster's gone. The NWA poster's next. And Ice Cube's gone. We just got MC Ren, Easy E, Yell, and Dr. Dre. That's
didn't
1,
even
2, 3,
bother
4,
to take
5.
it down. Just threw up
No,
the.
no. I just knock it over it. It looks more cool. It looks more cool when it's like, kind of peeking, little peekaboo.
Yeah. All right, well.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was
30 minutes?
That was like
40.
almost 40.
Wow, flew by.
Just talking about life and figures and.
We didn't even talk about the biz.
Well, that'll be
part 2. I'll come on next week for you guys. I'll give you guys the views. I'll send the receipt in the mail. Don't worry, Justin. You better be giving me that.
Mail.
I'll send you the receipt. Yeah.
Seeds.
Put it on the tab.
Put it on the tab. I owe Mike some money. Okay, put it on the tab.
Take it from the tab.
Take it on the tab. Okay, yeah.
All
All right then.
Thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having. I was actually joking with Justin. I'm like, why doesn't this guy ask me to be on his podcast? I just messaged him and he's like, oh, he'll be on it next week. I'm like, okay.
We haven't had guests, and then the day after, Breach was like, "Hey, can we do the podcast?" I'm like, I guess." Then I'm like, "If Breach is coming on, Ravi's gonna be even more mad." So I messaged you like right away.
Yeah, I'm surprised you chose Breach over me, but who am I? Who am I to judge?
I didn't pick. Mike put this upon me. Mike's like, "You want Breach on the podcast?" I guess.
Yeah, Breach has more charisma than I do. It's okay. I understand.
Wow.
That's fine. Almost an hour.
Breach is more likable. Almost an hour.
40 minutes. Breach went like 30.
Oh, us. Oh, I thought you meant Breach.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Well, before you better get some good retention rates on this too.
Well, on that note, thanks again to Ravi, and we'll talk to you after a while.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay. Goodbye.